Okay, so now the first thing that I want to do is to find what? The center of the face, right? Using this. So I use this, and then right here, you see how I angle a little bit, not super flat like this, but more like angle down the nose a little bit. And then use this piece right here. So gently pinch. Just pinch a little bit. Oops. So so that's the center. Yes. So now I'm gonna use this.
Step number 2.
So now look straight up for me. So I'm checking her eye socket symmetry. Is this one slightly higher? What do you think?
I'm like, we have to look from this point of view, right?
So
Yeah, this one's higher.
do you know if your eye socket level?
I don't know.
You don't know, right? Okay, do you mind if I pull it down a little bit?
I know that my nose is a bit,
To the side.
yeah.
Yes, this eye socket is slightly higher.
Mm-hmm.
So that means what? That means we cannot use that technique to measure from the corner of the eye to the sticker,
Okay.
right?
Right.
So
When you did that, is that using like the ear? The ear?
Yeah, mhm.
Okay.
and let's hope the ears are even, right?
Right. I know mine aren't because my sunglasses go.
Yeah, when I was little, when I got my glasses done, my like reading and to see far, right? And I always thought that the frame was crooked because I could one eye is always like kind of outside the frame a little bit. I always had to go back and had it adjusted, but it's so funny. So right down. So so you see that the sticker is kind of like in her brows a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and trim. So that it doesn't get in her brow. Oh, too low. Okay. Gonna go up just a bit. Okay, good. Because we do need room up here. Her arch is like quite high, right? So now I have to really use this line right here to make sure that my sticker is like super horizontal because we cannot measure the distance from the corner of her eye. But what I can do also is, let's hope her nose is kind of can help a little bit. So I just go from the bottom of the nose right here. Don't push it too hard, and then just pick a number. Right? I pick 5 millimeter and then flip. Okay, that's good. Just make sure I'm not pushing the nose. Double check. Make sure I'm not pushing your nose. Okay, that's good. Right, so you can use multiple things, right? Do whatever you need to do to make sure that the sticker is quite aligned. And then when you put the sticker on, don't push, don't pull, just like gently dab it on. Pat it on. You don't want the skin to wrinkle underneath the sticker. Okay, good. So what would be our next step?
Find point 1 and 4.
Find the distance between the eyebrows, right? So using the golden ratio. So this removable piece goes between arm number 1, arm number 2 and arm number 3.
So point 1 and 2.
So arm number 1 and arm number 2 gonna point at the white eye. Now you try to look at my chest. You're not gonna see it, but try. Keep looking, keep looking, keep looking, keep looking, keep looking, keep looking. Perfect. Now relax. So the golden ratio suggests 3 millimeters. Now I'm gonna check the eye set. Now try to look at my chest again, please. The whole opening of the eye. So the whole opening, close your eyes. She is a definitely close eye. Close eye set, right? So technically, okay, open my eyes again. So technically, if it's a close eye set, we want to bring the eyebrow further away, right? But now you see that her natural hair growth, she just has a lot of eyebrow here already, right? There's no way, I mean, she's not going to be happy if we, shave it off or pluck it off, right? So what we want to do is, so this is 2. Since she has close eye set, we should add +2. So it sets 4. So I'm gonna mark at 4 here. So 4 is about here. So what does that mean? It means that when I do, let's say microblading strokes and whatnot, right? Or shading, I'm just not gonna go past this much. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I'm not gonna try to increase the intensity of this area around here. Does that make sense? So if I'm gonna do shading, so I'm gonna go dark, 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 lighter, 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 very light here, and then stop there. From here to here, no more. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right, if I do microblading, so my first stroke is gonna be about here, and then go back instead of doing more strokes here. Does that make sense?
Yes. What if the client wants you to, do you insist otherwise, or?
I would say wait until the second session.
Oh, okay.
So today would be her first, right? Wait until the perfecting session, 6 to 8 weeks later, and then we decide.
Because she could change her mind potentially.
Right.
Yeah.
You never know. You can't take it back,
Yeah.
right? So wait until the second session. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put on my gloves because now we're gonna work with inked thread, and if you don't wear gloves, it's a mess. Then you should run your fingers through a little bit, like that, because it tends to be like chunky and wet sometimes. Okay, and then you want to wrap the string around your middle finger, like this, right? And then your index finger is gonna support, and the thumb clamp it. So I'm gonna come from the side, put it on the ruler first, and then come straight down. You see how I press down quite a bit? Right, don't be afraid. Okay, now look at the eyebrow length, right? Finding point 3. So what are the 3 things we have to consider when determine the length of the eyebrow?
Hair growth.
Hair growth.
So hair growth, number 1. So her natural growth, like on this side, it goes like all the way out to like 7. Let's say check on this side. So this one is basically a little bit shorter or a little bit thinner, like you know the strays,
Yeah.
right? So she's essentially like a 7 here as well, but this one you just have more strays, more longer. So do you want to keep it at that length, or you want to even go even longer?
I usually go longer.
Go
A
longer?
bit.
Just a
Yeah.
bit longer?
Yeah.
So maybe like 7.2, right? So 7, 1, 2. So I'm just gonna go like about here. So now seven. Then I go about here. Then I double check. Okay, perfect. Same. So now, to find the highest point, so we have 0.1, 0.4 here, 0.3 here, 0.2. We're gonna use the golden ratio caliper. Now, turn your face this way just a bit more, perfect. So, this one go where 0.1 is supposed to be. This one's gonna go where 0.3 is supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
So I expand. You see how this, you can actually bend?
Oh.
Yes. So I kinda like this.
So it's just on the skin.
So that this should be resting.
So her arch should go in there.
So this would be, let's see, it says 4.2. So 4.2 on this side as well. Okay, so now we're going to align point number 4. Right, so this is where I'm gonna ask the client, hey, what do you think about it being right here? Normally the client will be holding the mirror, right? For me, so you can see yourself from the camera, right? From the video. So is this a good point to start, or a bit lower, somewhere there?
I think it's good.
It's
right?
good, yes, perfect. Push it down and then slide one way, okay? Then I'm gonna see how thick her natural brows are. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So she's about a 10. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So a 9. So this side is a little bit thicker.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Keep it at 9?
Like this
She
one.
wants the
To
thicker.
thicker?
This one, the head goes
Oh,
like
slanted
this.
down. Okay,
So I
got it.
used to.
All right. So now we go for a full centimeter. So, and then 0.2, the highest point. Which one is higher, you think? I think this one is a little higher,
Yeah.
right? You like the higher one?
No, I go.
You like
She
this
likes this
one?
brow.
I go like, yeah.
So she like prefer this brow. So you see
Yeah.
how I put it right there, right? And then I align it with the sticker, the ruler right here, and make sure they're the same on both sides, and then bring it across. then
One way.
slide. Good. And now determine the tail of the eyebrow. Turn this way a little bit. So this is 0.2, yes? So now we have 0.4 right here, 0.1, this is 0.2. So 4 and then 2. So from here, coming, go to about 1.1. She is 1. Yeah, exactly the same on both sides. Great job. So I'm gonna keep it there. Start from 0.2, go to 0.1. Good. And now I'm gonna connect 0.1 and 2 together, right at the intersection. You see that white dot?
Yeah.
Press it down, slide one way. You see, if you notice that I pull this all the time, I
Yeah.
keep it stretched. Okay, when I slide, I keep it stretched the whole time. Okay, so now I have the top line. I'm doing this so that you can see clearly that this is your top line, right? And then 0.3 is down here. So for beginners, I definitely recommend that you doing this so that you don't lose your mark. Does that make sense? So you kind of know what's up. Because after so many lines, you're like, where's everything? Right, so now trying to find 0.5, center of eye. Now look straight up for me. So I go and look from this view. Center of eye on this side is about 2.3. Look straight up. Perfect. About 2.5. So I'm going to follow the 2.5. Now close your eyes, please. Okay, and then this is 3 millimeters behind 0.2. 1, 2, 3. This is 4.2. 4.2. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. See? Done already.
It's kind of easier like that to me without the paper.
Right. But you gotta start somewhere, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotta start
I know
somewhere.
it's hard with the paper.
It is. Oops. So how thick that is the beginning?
But that was thick.
We start with a full centimeter, so that's a 10. So standard thickness progression, 10, 9. So now I'm gonna go to 9. Top line is right there where the white dot is. Ten, 9, 8, 7. Like her brows are pretty much on point, right? She's like,
I was like, that's why I went up. Good model.
good.
They're very important to me.
So I like to make sure that my pencil is like super pointy before I mat. Right. So kind of like sharpen it a little bit. Now. Sorry.
Baby hair.
Baby hair. Okay, now stretch. stretch. So I stretch to the side, and pull it up as well. So the skin is more flat. Very light, don't press into the skin at all. Yeah. So 6 to 3, 6 to 5. Four up, 5 down. There. And then soften. So for her, I'm not gonna soften a lot, just slightly. Okay. All right. Now, so you have different ways of cleaning. So first, I'm gonna use my alcohol wipe again. To get rid of
Next time I'm not doing eyeliner.
that's okay. So that you don't get all confused. And then if you do powder brow, you definitely want to clean this with foundation, just to map this like super cleanly, right? But for microblading, this is good enough. So if I do microblading, I have this outline. The next thing I would do is just to clean off the stray hair. That makes sense. So just shave it off so that I can see the shape of the eyebrow very nicely, right? So if I do just microblading, this is good enough. But for powder brow, right? So I'm gonna grab my foundation.
Foundation.
The cleaner.
It has to go with the lighter foundation.
Oh, actually, if I do powder brow, I would actually fill in the brow shape with the color as well.
Yeah.
Keeping it kind of light on the head of the brow, right? The tail is gonna be a little bit more intense. Okay, now and clean.
So this is if you're doing the powder brow.
Mm-hmm.
But on me, you have to do microblading.
You have lots of hair already,
Yeah.
so I'm not gonna do, I wouldn't do powder on you unless you want it.
As they are thick.
Hmm?
So if you have less hair, you do powder.
Yes.
If you have
In my
in your
opinion,
opinion.
yes.
Mhm.
In my opinion, if you have very thin hair, I would recommend not to do microblading because it will look fake.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well just make it look like you have makeup on,
Yeah.
you know.
Makes sense.
So powder first. Okay.
But people that like do only microblading would try to argue otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, it really depends on what client wants. But do you see now? Okay, you see now, her 0.3 is much lower than her 0.4, right? Although it looks beautiful, right? But this will actually make her look kind of like sad and droopy. Okay, when it's done. So, I'm sorry. What did you say?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm talking to myself. I'm saying you said in your opinion, if your eyebrows are thick,
You have lots of eyebrow hair.
like hers, you would do the
Microblading.
microblading. And if it was thin, then you do the powder.
So I get into her eyebrow hair a little bit. Because that's, if she get real service done, that's the area that I'm gonna have to shave off just a little bit to give it a better shape.
So this would be a consultation. You said you don't do it no more. You just do it with the pictures.
Yes. So this is when, you know, if for beginners, do this before the actual appointment will be beneficial. But I don't want to do this for, you know, spend an hour on the client and then like
And
wipe it
then
off
later.
and then, you know, nothing comes from it. Right? So, but yes, in the beginning when I first started, I would do this like during the consultation and then see what they think so that on the actual day, I don't spend too much time,
Okay.
you know. But, you know, the shape in general looks pretty gorgeous, right?
Mm-hmm.
So which one is better for us since we're new? The in person or just the picture consultation?
Well, if your friend can give that you know multiple time to practice on,
Mm-hmm.
but you definitely want to practice your mapping as much as possible before you can even, you know, start doing it on a real person.
Okay, so
So map,
With the mapping as well.
Right. So now I would do this on one eyebrow first before I complete the other eyebrow. Why? Because if the client look at it and if like, oh, why does it look so thick? You know, especially with powder brow because it's all filled in.
Yeah.
Or it's like, why does it look so thick? Or why does it? Because when it's blank, it looks like it's not much, but when it's all filled in, it's like whoa, right? So, whatever. If she's happy, that's great. If she's not happy, I don't have to fix both.
Yes.
Does that make sense? So now, my point here is that her point number 3 is much lower than this. So if I draw a horizontal line across her forehead, across her face, so you see this is slightly lower than
Yeah.
4. So if I'm gonna actually do it, if a client is okay with it,
you would take off.
I'm just gonna suggest them to
Do that.
do this. And then, so that means what? If I'm really doing on her, she would have to kind of like keep, pluck off, you know,
The end.
the end of the brow just a little bit.
And we have to consider the face shape.
Yeah. So I would do something more.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I'll take your spot.
Oh, that's okay.
You see the difference
Mm-hmm.
it makes? This one, it makes her look a lot more lifted.
Mm-hmm.
She has more space on the eyebrow to from here, and it just looks more.
It makes her eyes look more awake too.
Yes, exactly.
And she has more like eyeshadow space.
Right. So
I already have a lot of
Mm.
space.
right.
No, but like when it was the
Yeah.
first shape, it closes it up
Yes.
a lot.
Right. So, in my opinion, right, like this one is better. It might go. It can be slightly lower, right? But I do not like when the eyebrow is like right where 0.4 is, or like lower. But obviously, this is all about the clients, right? So
Yeah.
at this point, I'm gonna ask her to sit up, look around, and make changes. So whatever she's happy with, excuse me, I'm gonna copy and paste to the other side.
So she might be like, I like it long like that.
Yes.
And then you would change it.
Yes, if she like it, I
she wants
I
it.
like it long, I like it low. Okay, that's fine. But I'm just gonna also tell the client. I mean, if she's young, that's fine, right? But if she's like at 40s and whatnot, I'm just gonna tell her, gravity is gonna
Yes.
bring that thing down even more, even more, even more. Okay, all right.